Wee wee. Oh wait, can someone press the button? I just forgot to. I'm just hearing sword noises. Welcome to our 6 billionth, millionth, trillionth weekly conference. Today we'll be going over divisional news, medal awards, AOA invites, and any promotions, demotions we might have, as well as our wonderful developer conference questions. Do we have any divisional news?
Yeah, we have quite a few actually. So for the first divisional news, that is in regards to STHD. STHD will be getting a new deputy commissioner. So can we please congratulate Doc Team 17 for becoming their new deputy commissioner? Nice.
Do we not even use the clap tool?
Oh, it just lags the server a lot.
Is it actually?
Yeah, just what?
I mean, server lags. Oh, that's great. That's fantastic.
Wasn't Dog Team here as well?
It's so hard to make an actual clapping sound that isn't just eerie. Is the server actually lagging there?
Yep. Well, the next divisional news is in regards to MDF. So MDF will be getting a new deputy commissioner as well as a new commissioner. So can we please congratulate Twin Turbo for getting the deputy commissioner of MDF and Joke for becoming the new UOC of MDF. And you may like the server.
That's fantastic.
Oh, that was a rub.
Alright. Now going over to Meta Award. So I have quite a few there. So the first meta being the award of obstacle veterancy. May Snowy's come up to the front. He completed it with 1 minute and 26 seconds. 𝐏𝐑𝐄𝐒 with a time of 1 minute and 32 seconds. Sebastian underscore YT0 with a time of 1 minute and 35 seconds. FA underscore TD2 with a time of 1 minute and 35 seconds. Farewell with a time of 1 minute and 38 seconds. N underscore UUZ with a time of 1 minute and 29 seconds. And Surfer Drew with a time of 1 minute and 21 seconds. Of all the people on tour are here. Okay. Congratulations, you. Clap like the server.
I don't get any server lag.
I'm not getting that much either. I guess no one does.
I think some people were waffling saying this lag in the server.
Oh, maybe sit back down.
Well, my Wi-Fi is that of a potato, so.
I mean, there is like over 100 people at the conference hall at any given time. That's bound to cause at least a little bit of lag.
Up to the next meta, the meta award of mobility. Those individuals have completed a 4-hour duty state on mobile. Hope their phone didn't burn to ground or something. May Mania underscore Carlin come up to the front and Recom XDH. Yeah. Clap for them. And jump up and down.
Woo!
Alright, sit down again.
Should probably make
Yeah,
an unclap command. which removes only the clap tool from everyone.
Might be useful. And next method, 24-hour ward of restless dedication. This person has completed a 24-hour duty state. May ex-marshal come up to the front, please?
Woo!
Hope you got some sleep after this. You didn't? Oh, okay. What the fuck?
I
Okay,
didn't. Oh.
How did you survive after 24 hours? Do you stay without sleeping? I'm wondering. Well, okay, up to the last medal of this conference. Medal of Undying Loyalty. This individual has been actively in AEGIS for over 1 year. May Superstorm start to come up to the front, please? He's walking up from the back.
SMH. Is he not here? Oh, wait, he is.
He is.
Woo!
Alright, you might go back. Sit down. This concludes the medal section of this conference. We'll now move on to AOA invites. We have one AOA invite still from last month that has been checked until now. May Venom Bane come up to the front now? If he's even here. Doesn't seem like he is. Well, he won't get claps then. I don't tell him to like DM Alex or KP for an AOA invite. And yeah. Then next we have promotion, officer promotion. May David Apple come up to the front, please? He will be promoted to officer.
Woo!
Alright, you may go back to your post. Then we also have another officer plus promotion. May Doc Team, he's not here. Well, he will be promoted to VO, to veteran officer. He won't get claps because he's not here. Then that concludes promotion section.
I think
Sham, you wanna go with the?
I'll go over those two things. To start off with, we have a wonderful warning just to the entirety of Officer Corps in general. A reminder that all officers are supposed to be role models to the rest of the AEGIS community, and Officer Corps Plus are expected to present themselves in an appropriate manner and present any conflicts of interest that they might have in a conformed and constructive manner that can be appropriately dealt with. So emotional rants, disrespect of chain of command, disrespect of protocol isn't really expected from anyone that is Officer Corps Plus. And if you have been presenting yourself in a good way thus far, please give yourself a pat on the back and continue ensuring you continue to maintain our image as a wonderful military group on Roblox. Yay! That was uplifting. There is one punishment that I do unfortunately have to hand out because, you know, it was a bit reckless and irresponsible for conduct of character within our public Discord server. Math will be demoted from warrant officer to officer. Usually, transgressions like that in the past would have resulted in like just a straight up exile or just removal from officer. But like, as I've seen from what Math's been saying in the Discord, he obviously was very emotional at the time. He does care quite a lot about AEGIS and all of you, so I don't really think it's appropriate to remove him from officer because he still is a genuinely good officer that works hard. Just let his emotions get the better of him in a stressful situation, which a lot of people have obviously been expressing recently. So that's that really. If you do have a conflict of interest with anything HiCom's doing, that I'm doing, that the developers might be doing, please formulate your suggestions in a concise and appropriate manner which does not attack individuals and is not aggressive in nature. Those are never good, and they just go to show that, lost my train of thought there. It's not a really good way to get your point across. I like how someone just asked if I'm a Geordie. Yes, I am. So yeah, that's basically that. It's don't want to dwell on the depressing side of what's happened recently too long. Do we have anything else?
No, just the conference questions next.
Oh, wonderful. I bet these are going to be interesting. Is it open? No.
Opening.
Now it is. So if you want to do your quest, just proceeds to not even use the format. What I was going to say is, can you please use the format and ask appropriate questions? And I will try my best to answer them.
I'll just go with it.
Also, if you have any voice chat questions you'd like to ask, you can also do that by requesting to speak in this voice channel. When will the infections in cure guns be fixed? I asked the QA team for a list of bugs, so if you report them to, I think his name begins with an E. What was it again? Where'd he go? He was responding to all the suggestions earlier. 𝐏𝐑𝐄𝐒. I can never pronounce your name. I'm sorry. If you send your bugs to him, he'll forward them to me. I'm currently compiling a list of major bugs that need to be patched. I wasn't aware that infections were brought. I've been scrolling through bug reports and I've never seen anything in relation to the infection, so I thought everything there was working fine. But if you forward those to him, he'll report them in the QA Discord in detail, and I will look around to fixing it. When will the wasteland? When the wasteland will get expand? It depends. I need to think of where to expand right now because everything's in quite a nice place. And editing stuff is going to cause turmoil. Any updates on the ARD heal gun getting fixed? Like I've said, anything like that, forward it to 𝐏𝐑𝐄𝐒 and I will patch it. Is there any plan? I did see actually with the heal gun that it was apparently scanning ragdolls and stuff. I saw that bug, but I didn't see that it was completely broken or anything like that. Is there any plans in the future after the release of the city for the conference center to be merged with DoD? We'd always like to do that, but right now, Roblox simply doesn't have powerful enough servers to host that many people on a game of that magnitude. It just wouldn't work properly. So probably not. Question for the chairman: has 𝐏𝐑𝐄𝐒 officially left AEGIS? 𝐏𝐶ODED left AEGIS a year and a half ago. So yeah, he did leave AEGIS a very long time ago. When the city will be ended? When the city will be ended? Yes. Just in case this doesn't get into the new newspaper questions in the interview. But what do your parents think about AEGIS? Do they know of all your developed games, etc. And are they yes, they do, and they are, yeah. Not really an appropriate conference question, but yes. That was a nice question though. You know, usually I just get harassed about bugs. But they do know about it. I mean, if you want more detail, Minan doesn't understand it whatsoever, but she is happy about it. Yeah. Any updates on fixing PKSF energy shield bar display? Currently does not appear and makes combat interesting. Quotations. What? Interesting. Is the PKS that's probably in relation to the Gunsquare code? It probably broke that when he released the new update. I'll have a look, and it shouldn't probably take too long. It's probably only a few lines of code that are missed here and there. That was something to do with adding the VIP tracker, but I'm pretty sure the shields do still work, even if the UI doesn't display that the shield bar's there. Will we have quests for AEGIS members? I did see this a lot. The thing with quests for AEGIS members just like personnel in general, is like, what would we necessarily give them to do in the facility? Like, in terms of quests for normal personnel, there's not really much we can do unless I add new parts of the facility, but I'm not even sure what I'd add in order to make a quest for it, because it would have to be repeatable. Obviously.
It can be something like patrolling the border for 30 minutes, or just staying in-game for 30 minutes.
But that's, you know, it's not really a quest, that's just an assignment. When I think of quests, I think more of like, go A to B, retrieve something, and give it to something, or stuff like that, not just staying in-game. But I mean, that could be technically a quest, I suppose, but it wouldn't be very interesting. So that's you know, that's a wavy line. If you have any suggestions, put them in the suggestions channel. Any updates coming to the game this year? Yes, of course. There'll be a big bug fix coming soon, which will fix a lot of problems that people have been having. Just make sure you report all your bugs, otherwise some of them might get missed. Given the current instability of the game, where it can start to lag and sometimes crash when we reach a high number of players, or we do an event such as protocol evacuation, are there any plans to further optimize the game, or instead set a cap on players to keep the game stable? Well, by now I was hoping that Roblox would have upgraded the servers, because they said they were going to at RDC last year, but we're still yet to see any sort of improvement. Most of the lag is caused by like the Roblox player model in general, and all the humanoid scripts and everything that comes with that. Stuff that I literally can't edit because it's proprietary to Roblox. So as to optimizing players, the player count, it's something that will just gradually happen over time as Roblox improves it. I don't see too much lag in general outside of events, so it's not too bad at the moment. But there's not much more optimization that could be done. Any possible rebalance of certain guns? M16 kills someone with 200 armor in 3 headshots. I think that's an over-exaggeration. 𝐑𝐄𝐒 has too much recoil for the lack of damage and efficiency, in my opinion. Well, I've seen nerf M16 come up a lot, so I might have a look at that. Because Code had messed around with gun stats, even though I told him not to, when he did the gun script release. Most of the dues were sort of brought back to what they used to be, but it's still a bit iffy. But that is because the new gun script's like 100 times more efficient than the last one, which is why stuff like firing speed, damage and all that feels a little bit different. It's because the gun script runs faster, so you don't see like lag in terms of when bullets come out. Like with the 𝐑𝐄𝐒, they used to shoot so fast that it would cause a server lag spike, which is why all the bullets seem to come out all at once, and it would cause like an immense amount of damage really quickly. That's because the server used to lag and it used to take the client into consideration. So regardless, basically all the raiders were complaining with the new gun script that the hit reg is trash, but in actuality the old gun script, you only used to take the client into consideration. So even shots that you shouldn't have been hitting in the previous gun script, you were hitting because of lag. Not because of skill. There is still issues with the hit reg in this version, but I was using it the other day, and it's, for how much everyone says the hit reg's like absolutely terrible, it's pretty good as long as your ping's all right, which for most games is the case. Deep Woken, Arsenal, stuff like that. Depending on your ping, your gameplay can be different. It's because there's the appropriate amount of server protection as well as client registry. There needs to be a balance, otherwise we'll just have a bunch of exploiters killing everyone with scripts and stuff like that, which is never fun. When do you think the next big update will come out? Whenever I think of one, really. It'll probably be something in relation to the Wasteland. Will the combat system get any updates in regards to hit registration? Probably not anytime soon. I'm looking to fix normal bugs first. Can you fix the recoil on the gun? Because when you shoot, it goes up and it's annoying. Yes, I believe that is called recoil. And I'm sure soldiers get annoyed with it in real life quite a lot, but it just exists, really. Not much we can do about it. Can usernames appear over corpses again? Makes reporting people easier. I mean, usernames never really appeared over corpses. It's just that there wasn't any corpses before. You just sort of fell apart. But I have seen a lot of complaints that initiates are like shooting people, then getting killed, and nobody ever reported it. Is Coded still working on the game? Not actively, but he'll probably finish Anchor 3. As for anything else, probably not. But you never know. But he's not doing anything right now. When will be added automatic strike giver initiate plus 2 veteran operative, because initiates are team killing, and for that they should get 2 strikes and then half be banned. Okay. No, there won't be an automatic strike giver. It just takes the job away from SC, really. They won't have anything to do. Is there any plans to add any more non-combative divisions in the future? Yes, AEGIS Engineering Division will be relatively non-combative. Will the city be released by the end of the year? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Are there more updates coming, or any big updates coming? The amount of times the big update question gets asked, I've already said. Is SDHC gonna get their own division color? They do have their own division color, grey. There is no other division that uses dark grey. AIA uses black, PKSF uses light grey. So I'm not sure what you mean by that. Any plans to maybe add back the OG party room behind the board? You mean 𝐏𝐑𝐄𝐒𝐒, the nightclub? That was a part of the original city concept, but I didn't like it, so I deleted it all. Because it doesn't represent what I want for the city. So I wiped that all out. Will you ever expand in the AEGIS facility? Yes, of course. I believe what I was trying to do before I went on hiatus was a bank update where you could sort of steal precious items. Well, for raiders steal precious items from the bank, whereas we store stuff in there. Will Lord Jealous return to the border ever, or has he returned to jail never to be seen again? Who knows, really. Mysterious man, he might come back. Will there be anything big added? For example, a new gun or something? That's not really big, is it? A new gun is not really a big update. But there might be new guns. I didn't add many last year. I just re-released event items to try and not have too many game passes. But we might release a few this year because it has been a while. Momentarily, the 𝐏𝐑𝐄𝐒 calls don't work, and apparently it doesn't do that only for me. Yes, that is a bug. It's a weird one as well. It's because I moved all of the 𝐏𝐑𝐄𝐒 voice lines to the client for optimization so that the server didn't have to handle it. The only problem with that is that some people will experience problems depending on the device. Do you have any plans on adding more methods of gaining points to rank up in the future? Probably not, but never say never. Why make the city come out in 21? That's a joke. That's literally a joke. But then again, it might come out in 2175, who knows. but that isn't like the actual date it's scheduled for. By the way, it's just something because if you've noticed in the law, the border's set around that time period, which is why the time on the sign was set to that. What are your thoughts on the growing community? Can you keep it in check? I mean, we've been keeping it in check for the past few years, past 4 years even. I don't see why it would start getting difficult now. It's still around about what it used to be, 60 to 120 players. It's the nice margin to keep it in. Any higher than that and stuff starts to get erratic. That's why with my advertising strategies, I try to keep it so that the player count is maintained around about that. It's like a balance between growing the community as well as losing the community so that we don't have too many players and we don't have too few players. It's like a golden spot for a community game, really. If you go any higher, as you've seen with like Flamingo scan videos and stuff like that, we do not have enough staff to handle stuff like that, and the game starts to get really not very community driven. It's just people running around shooting whoever they want. Like, nobody's in check whatsoever. There's no organization. It's barely even a military group at that point, which is why it's better to keep it around this number. When you will fix the guns, because I get bug 1 bullet in weapon instead of 30 while shooting and dying same time my gun gets 1 bullet. Is that a bug? If so, go report it. I have no idea what you're talking about. How was your week? Wonderful. Wrote many paragraphs. Many paragraphs.
For that weapon bullet bug thing,
Mhm.
apparently people, like the GUI will say they have 30 bullets, but then when they shoot, it goes to 0, and they have to reload.
Very strange.
But it shoots like 1 bullet. Or sometimes with the Do 1S, they will reload, have a bullet, shoot, and then nothing comes out. Like it then switches back to 0.
It sounds like server lag or a visual glitch or something like that. As for
It's been happening for months.
yeah, it's because of the new gun script, which hasn't been changed since it came out, pretty much. But I can't really fix gun script bugs at the moment. I'm gonna have to like look over the entirety of Anchor 3, which God knows how long that will take. That's something like 30 scripts, and I'll have to learn how Coded made the gun script in order to edit it if he doesn't come back soon. But I'll be fixing normal bugs sometime this or next week, and then after that I'll start looking into stuff like that, which will be tons of fun. I'll be having the time of my life. Are you going to bring back... Okay, you gonna bring the old gun script back? No. That was literally terrible. The old gun script was the worst thing ever. Especially considering just as we changed over the gun script from the old one to the new one, there was an exploit released which allows people to kill people wherever they are on the map, regardless of if they're able to hit them or not. So, no, absolutely not. It will not be coming back because it's exploitable, it's laggy, it's inefficient, and it's just trash in general, really, compared to what was made for Anchor 3. It's superior in every way, even though it has kinks, because it technically is still on its first version, so obviously there is going to be bugs. What made you want to create AEGIS? I've always created community groups, ever since like 2013. So I wanted a military one, so I made a military one. That's basically how it happened. If you were expecting something more in depth, I'm sorry. You just sort of wake up one day and want something, and then you go and do it. Like with Cell, I wanted a Star Wars group, so I made a Star Wars group, but I didn't want to base it off Star Wars, because, you know, that had been done a million times before. Technically, since the year in Aegis is 2175, shouldn't we have guns without recoil? I mean, we have cyborg. Well, that wouldn't be fun at all, would it? You see, when you're balancing between lore and gameplay always takes priority, and having no recoil in a weapon isn't very interesting, nor does it require very much skill. So the idea of having recoil at least made it so weapons were interesting. How motivated you are to continue updating the game? Do you have any plans for the future of Aegis on its leadership in 1 or 2 or 3 even years? Not really. As for motivation, I'm starting to get it back. I do have a few ideas for what I want to do, and obviously I have to fix all the issues first, but I'll get round to doing something. How did you create such a strict and diverse rule system? The first iteration was made with me and Blue, and then over the course of time, our table of military leadership have put in their own ideas, and it's sort of developed into its own thing at this point. So it's the culmination of 3 years of work between a lot of different people, which is why it's so good at this point, because everyone's put their own ideas in and everyone has contributed to it. Obviously, not everything is perfect, but in terms of other military groups, we do have one of the better systems in place, and one of the more reliable ones, from what I've seen. Thank you for all your questions. I'm
There's
gonna have to
some
go. Is it?
voiced questions, yeah.
Oh God. In Aegis Academy. Hello?
Hello. I actually had two questions, but they're pretty much the same thing. There was a huge deal about the Halloween scroll. Remember that you could turn into a vampire, supposedly? Gave you instructions on how. Yeah, let me turn down my game volume. It's annoying. I was wondering if it even existed, and also if anyone ever found it, because it was super hyped at first, and then it just sort of died out, and then
It's because it was
everybody
very
stopped
hard to
talking
get.
about
It did exist. There was a few people that found it, but luckily I was always in the server whenever they did, and let's just say I encouraged them to keep it a secret. But
Alright, thank you.
it did exist. Next year when it comes out, I'll probably try and make it easier to find and make the clues a little more obvious, because it was very much luck to find it, and it was very rare.
Great, yeah, thanks.
Thank you for your question. Minotaura, would you like to ask a question? Nope. Okay. Zion, would you like to ask a question? No. Okay. Well, at least we had one voice question. Thank you for all your questions. I'm gonna take a very long breather now that my COVID lungs have been drained of energy. You can go back to the border, attend any conferences that you might have. Have a nice day.
Sayonara.